And this is how exactly data binding can be done. In addition to that, if you want to write any logics means what? Conditions, loops, like that, comments, whatever you want to write, you can place them in between the tags like this. So these are called templating tags or template tags. And generally in any language, like for example Java, you are writing like this. Any code you want to work. If it is PHP, then you are writing the code like this inside. But in Django, if you want to write any Python code, that code will be written in between these two tags. If it Django tags, they are not HTML, they are not Python. DTL programming is different, Python programming different. And when you take Python programming, block ante you will be working with indentations. But here you don't have any indentations or something, just a normal code you can write. It will have its own syntax there. Like how to write different logics. Like for example, I want to work with conditions. Condition ante let's take simple cut. If I want to write simple if, first we will write if condition. Inside the tag, we will write if condition, and whatever the code you want to run, you can print. Manaki normal Python, when you take, how you are going to write the condition? So like you will be writing something like if condition, take some indent, close it. Whatever the statements that are written within the indentation, they are part of that condition. And any statement written outside, it is not part of that condition. That is normal. But here, how the Django knows that this block has ended? End of the condition is indicated with a special keyword end if. That's why I told you it is not Python. It is related to DTL. End if is a keyword and it's a single word there. So you are starting the condition here. Whatever the statements you want to run, you can write. And a paragraph, you can write a heading or whatever it is you want to write. And then you can close the condition like. Suppose if I want to use if else statement, just in between you will write the else block. Okay, na? If condition, you start the block there. Else, use the else keyword and then end if. If, elif, else, end if you can write. And if you want to work with the elif condition and a nested if and then elif followed by else and then end if. Elif ladder, continuous flow of conditions. So how many blocks you want? And this is one more way. And what we said nested if means the condition can rise either in the true part or false part or both. In the true part, there may be one elif. In the false part, there can be an if else. And here one if else, here one if else. ఎలా అయినా రాసుకోవచ్చు ఇప్పుడు లెట్స్ see here. Okay, you take that first diagram, comparing two numbers. So how to write it normally? Comparing two numbers together, how to write it? So if A is greater than B, okay, then what we are doing? We are printing something like A is greater than B, whatever may be the language. And then else. Next. Else part, what is there? So if A is less than B, you are writing like print A is less than B. So if that condition false, అంటే in the inner condition, we'll write A is equals to B like this. And whatever may be the language. But what we said, instead of writing else another block, directly we can write here like else if. If it is Python, we are writing elif. That's it. So if there is only else part, you have the condition, you can use elif. But when we see this, the third example, biggest of three numbers. So there you have condition in the true part and in the false part also. Hmm? So how to write this? If A greater than B, tell me logic according to this. So if A greater than B, so this is one thing, else this is the else block. So in the true block, what we have to do? So in the true block, what we'll do there? Like if A is greater than C. Okay, then we will say print A is big. Otherwise, if the condition is false, so C is big. Like this we are writing. Else, in the else part, so we are writing like if B is greater than C, so we'll print B is big, else C is big. That's what we are doing there. This is what we are doing. And here we have condition both in true and false parts. And then you have to write the logic like this only. And this is what we are doing here. This is what we are doing here. So this is one condition. This is a false part and end if. So if the condition is true, one if else inside. Condition false, one if else inside. అంటే అది మనం చూసిన that biggest of three numbers, that logic. True, we have if else. False also, you have if else. Just we can write like. That's the implementation. Conditions, how you can write. And then if you have elif ladder, ela rasam cheppandi. When we have elif ladder, so how you are going to write? Just we'll write the conditions continuously. And finally, if the condition false, you will write some code there. Elif ladder, different implementations we can do like. Next here, Django, it like we have for loop. So per iterable object, per counter variable in iterable object. So this will work with not counter controlled loop. This is for normal for each loop. For some variable in iterable object, execute the statements end of the block indicated with end for. So there is no while loop provided. You don't have while, you have for only. And if we want to provide any comments in between these two symbols, we have to provide. If we want to define any comments in between these two symbols, we'll provide. If it is a multi-line comment, just declare the keyword comment here, write all the comment statements, whatever you have, and then you can say end comment like this. So this is what exactly DTL, Django templating language. So in this DTL, what we are doing means inside the HTML code, we can bind the value of any variables, or even we can work with logics also, conditions, loops, whatever they are, we can work with logics also. So that's why we call them templates. We are not calling them HTML pages. HTML pages means they contain HTML data only. But here we are calling them templates, means we can bind the data, we can do some process, anything we can do here. Now, These type of templates, how to work with them. These type of templates, how to work with them, and how to bind data inside templates. And hey, what is the advantage of writing separate HTML file means you can write whatever you want. You can write whatever you want. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూడండి జస్ట్ వేర్ ఈస్ దట్ ఐ థింక్ హియర్ yeah now see here I want to write some HTML data, so just I am writing this normally. If I want to add CSS, if I want to add JavaScript, if I want to add bootstrap, so as the size of the content increases, the more content you want to provide, so you have to write more number of statements. But if you are creating the template as a separate HTML file, you can write everything HTML. Normal HTML content you can work. You can use like what we can say CSS, you can write JavaScript, you can write DOM, you can write jQuery, Bootstrap. So whatever you want, you can write freely. We can write the code. So that's where the concept of templates will be useful. So how to work with these templates? In order to work with the templates, what are the configurations we have to do in the settings.py file? So here also, in order to work with the templates, we have to make a small configuration in settings.py. Where is that? I will show you. The URLs. This is views. Even you cannot add images and other files also directly. Even if you want to work with static resources, images, CSS files, or audio files, or video files, something, there also you have to make some settings there. And the coding will be different, I'll tell. Now, when we go to settings.py, now here, this is what the declaration we have. Templates, they have declared a list object inside. Inside, there is a dictionary provided. So this is the class which is going to handle the templates. And we said that we are binding the data on the template. We are writing the conditions and something. Who is going to process that type of data? That class will do. Okay, in this package, the class called Django templates, it will use. And this is where we have to make the settings set to work with the templates. And all HTML files, we will save them in a separate folder. Okay, we'll save all the HTML files in a separate folder. Where that folder was created, the path should be declared here. Once the path is declared, then you can start writing the HTML code directly, and then you can run the application. So just try to work with class-based templates. Even you try to print CSS, DOM, and everything. Our classes learn try change, Bootstrap and everything. So how to work with this separately? So we can identify the difference. If I'm writing everything inside a view, what is the difficulty? If I'm writing as a separate HTML file, what is the advantage we have? A classification and a chess coach. That how to implement, we will discuss it in the tomorrow session. Okay, na? Clear, ma? Views.generic, it is the package. Actually, the class called view, it is located in that package. That's why we are writing like django.views.generic, because it is available in a different folder. So which package they have declared, from there we are importing. So that's why we are using the statement import django.views.generic like that. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I am asking to you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a website, means
Mm,
e-commerce website.
mm.
That time, all the time is creating the class-based view. That time,
Okay.
you mentioned that the function-based view is simple, but real-time world is a maximum time is used of the class-based view.
It depends.
So,
That's what I told you. That's what I told you. Which view to implement, it depends on the situation. So if you are
okay,
totally using the view for presenting some data, processing is very less, then it's
mm,
better to go with function-based views. When you are
okay,
working with complex logics where you have to make
mm,
several initializations, where you
mm,
have to write complex things there, then we will go for class-based view. It depends on what example you are implementing. We have to decide which view to be used there.
yes, sir.
So it
Sir, I
depends.
have a one question. I
Hmm.
have one question. Could you
Yeah.
please, sir, I am asking to you, sir, I am trying to create a e-commerce website.
Okay.
If any kind of problem will I face, then could you please help me that time?
Okay, no problem. During the class sessions, if you have any issues, you can we can discuss that. Hmm?
Okay, okay, okay,
Definitely.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah.